Okay, so to get everything on one sheet, in the newer versions of the Max, you actually don't need to attach it together. You can just select a few objects and then drop an unwrap modifier on top of them, and they should all show up in the unwrap edit window together. In older versions, we'll actually have to attach the objects together, and that's actually what I'm going to do here. Okay, so we won't do everything at the same time. We're just going to sort this out a little bit at a time until we get everything figured out here. All right, so let's grab the biggest piece, which is the building here, and we'll collapse this down to edit poly to get rid of that unwrap, and that doesn't remove the UVs, it just remove the unwrap from the modifier list here. Okay, so with that collapse down, let's go over to attach. We'll attach it to the ground, and let's also maybe do the roof and maybe the stairs. Okay, so just select all those objects, turn off attach here, and now we'll put another unwrap on and open up the other window. Okay, we're going to have all the UVs for those objects in here. So let's just sort them out quick. We'll go into the modify panel here, go to polygon, and we're actually going to turn on sync to element in the modify panel here rather than doing it in the unwrap window. Okay, so we click this, we can actually select elements in the viewport all at once. Okay, even if they're broken, it's going to select all the UVs for them. All right, so let's grab the side piece here. Just going to move this up here for a second. Let's grab the roof. Move this over here, and the ground, and the stairs here. Okay, and obviously the scale is way out of proportion between the pieces, but we'll fix that in a minute. We just want to kind of get a basic layout here. All right, so let's maybe also apply our checker material. Okay, so we'll assign that. Okay, and once again, we're looking for an even size checker over all of these objects. And as you can see, it's way too out of whack here. We have tiny checkers on the stairs and a lot bigger ones here on the sides of the building. Okay, so in the unwrap window here, we'll just rescale all these at the same time. Okay, and that's going to put them all in the right proportion here, as I mentioned in the earlier part. Okay, now you can see that they're all even, which is what we want. Okay, and the reason why you want to do this is so that you get an even textile density from your texture. Okay, and you have the proper resolution on all the objects in the scene. Okay, so, and if you don't have this button in your version of Max, you can just select an element and then just scale it, like I mentioned in the first part, up and down until you match them up. Okay, that's going to take a little bit more time, but it is necessary to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that for a second. And we're just going to lay these out quickly here, and then we'll pack them when we get the rest of the objects in here. Okay, so I'm just going to move these stairs up here maybe for now. Okay, and let's grab these, and we're just going to move them way up here for a second so they're not in the way of any other pieces that we have. Okay, we'll go back into the viewport, and let's see, let's maybe select maybe the door here. Okay, and we'll convert that to editable poly, and we'll go over to attach, and let's attach maybe the pillars to it, as well as these pieces here above the door. Okay, we'll also get the 3 pieces of the door trim. Okay, so pretty much everything around there. Okay, and let's turn off and attach there, and we'll put another unwrap on, and we'll sort these ones out now. Okay, so same thing here, turn on sync element, open up the editor window. Okay, and let's just grab a few of these pieces. Okay, so we obviously have the door here in the center. Okay, so we'll select that, move that over here. Let's grab the pillars. Okay, and with the pillars, because we clone the UVs from one to the other, they're actually going to be directly sitting on top of each other, so just space those out. Okay, and we'll grab both these in the viewport and just move them up here for now. Okay, and let's grab this beam at the top here. So let me turn off those selection brackets. Okay, we'll move this up here maybe, and let's grab this one. And we'll just kind of stack these up. Okay, this is the one above the door, and these are the 2 sides of the door. Okay, so I'm going to put that over here. Let's move this over here as well. And again, if we apply our checker to these, the scale is not in proportion to each other. Okay, so we're going to fix that by rescaling them again. Okay, and like I mentioned before, sometimes when you rescale, they'll kind of stack on top of each other. So we're just going to need to pull those apart if they're overlapping. Okay, so let's grab this one, let's move it over slightly. And you can actually see that a couple of these overlapped here, so that's something to watch out for. Same with the doors here, you can see that's too big now. So we're just going to have to fix that manually quickly. Okay, so to do that, let's turn off Synced Element in the Modify panel actually. We'll leave it on in here so we can select each of these at one time. And we'll just move these down out of the way for a second so we can work on them. Okay, so we'll grab all these. Just going to move this apart, deselect that one, whoops. Okay, we'll just kind of line them up how we had them originally. Okay, just like that. All right, let's get these organized here. Just gonna put this piece above the door. And we could actually probably put this piece over here and this piece here, just so it's easier to know what's what when you're actually doing your texturing. Okay, so we'll kind of line these up next to the door and just kind of stack that other piece above it. All right, and we're going to need to scale these down, so let's just do it quick. Okay, and I'm going to do them all at once for a second. Okay, and then we'll just space them out. And you definitely don't need to necessarily put them in these holes. You could just you know, stack them next to the door, however you want to do it. But if you fill the holes, it'll definitely save you some texture space. Okay. And with us scaling these down to fit in, the checker is a little bit bigger there in the viewport rather than it is on the door, but that's really not a big deal. You just want them as close as possible together. Okay, and then we have the two beams here, which we'll just stack kind of on top of each other. Okay, so let's maybe move these. Okay, I'm just gonna lay those next to the door, and we'll just grab these two beams and just put them here for now. All right, and I'm gonna move these over here. Okay, let's turn that off. And let's just hide that. We'll also hide this. Okay, and the rest of these objects we'll just maybe attach together here. So let's grab this trim piece and collapse it down. Go to attach. And let's see, let's maybe just attach the other trim piece to it, as well as the window. Okay, I am actually going to attach the glass to it as well. You might want to leave that off so you can put a material on it. But just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to attach it all together. Okay, and let's maybe grab this grate as well. Okay, so we'll come down here, select that, as well as the outside, and maybe that plane underneath. Okay, we'll leave these other pieces here for another one. Okay, so let's turn off attach, add another unwrap, and back into the unwrap window here. Okay, we'll turn back on polygon and synced element, and we're just going to sort these out quick. Okay, you can see most of them are stacked on top of each other here, so it's going to take us a couple minutes to sort this out. Okay, so let's move this over here, grab the other one, kind of stack them next to each other. Okay, and let's actually just rescale this right now. Okay. Alright, so those two trim pieces we'll leave next to each other. Let's maybe sort out the grate. Alright, so we'll grab those slats. And even though they're attached together here, they're still going to be able to be selected separately here. Alright, so I'm going to select the outside first. Just going to move this over here. Let's get that plane underneath as well. Put that over here. And we'll just grab these slats. Okay, so just make sure you get all those. Whoops. Okay, we'll just move that up here. So we have all those pieces sorted out. Okay, and we'll just quickly kind of stack these up as well. Okay, and you can lay them out any way you like. You don't have to do it this way. Let's grab this plane, we'll put it underneath. And we'll grab these pieces here. And I'm just going to move a little bit closer together. Okay, we'll kind of just fit these in. All right, let's grab those, and we'll just move them over here maybe. And just leave it like that for now. Okay, so for the window here, let's grab the frame, move that over, grab the outside frame, and these are going to be overlapping, so we'll just move them apart again. Okay, and let's grab those two glass panes. They'll also be stacked on top of each other, so we'll just spread them apart. And we'll grab the frame as well. Okay, so that's the top window, and that's the bottom window. Okay, and this is the actual outside piece. Okay, so let's move these over. Just gonna put these on each side. Okay, I'm gonna grab the two pieces of glass. I'm actually gonna scale them down and fit them into the window hole here. Okay, so let's fit those in. Like that. Let's put the window frame underneath so we know what piece it is. These little strip pieces for the glass, so I'm just going to stack them. Okay, and we'll just kind of rotate those upright maybe. And just set them right here. And we'll put these ones here on the other side maybe. Okay, and for the frames, let's also maybe just stack those next to this. Okay, we're going to need to space them out a little bit here. Okay, so let's grab these pieces and just put them here for now. And that grate, and we'll put those down here. Okay, and let's move this way over here maybe. And we'll attach the last piece together before we attach everything together. Okay, I'm just going to apply the checker to that. And let's also scale it down a bit. Okay, so let's hide those. Okay, and we'll just grab the ladder here, collapse that down. Let's turn off ice-line display first. Okay, we'll also need to get rid of ice-line display on any other objects that we have. Okay, and we actually put it back on here, so let's turn that off on each of these. Okay, and I believe we also have it on the clips. Okay, so turn that off. We're going to collapse down the high res. Okay, so grab that ladder, convert it to editable poly, and we'll just actually convert all this stuff to editable poly. Okay, and just attach it all together. Okay, so another unwrap here, and we'll just sort this out quick. Okay, so back to polygon, turn on synced element, grab that ladder. It's gonna move this up here. Let's actually rescale it first. Okay. Okay, we're gonna need to space that out again in a second. Grab the drain pipe. Let's move that over. Okay, we'll grab that back of the door handle as well as the door handle and that little cylinder piece in behind there. Okay, so we just want to keep every thing that goes together together in the UV layout. Okay, these are the clips here and the bolts. So let's find the clip, grab that. We'll spread these apart a bit, and the bolts here will be on top of each other. Okay, and they're actually going to have the backs of them stacked as well. So let's go in here, grab the bolt, spread it out. Let's spin it on the other side, grab the other bolt, spread it out, and we'll get one of the top ones as well. Okay, so that'll be our 4 bolts, and we can lay those out in a minute. Alright, so now we just need to make sure these aren't overlapping again. Okay, so I'm just going to move this up and quickly just reposition these. Okay, we'll just stack them. Something like that. Let's grab the bolts. Okay, and I'm just going to actually leave these probably stacked together with each of the sides. And we'll just kind of stack the heads together. Okay, now for the door handle. Okay, just space those apart if they've overlapped at all. Now we'll grab this piece. Let's just put it up here. Okay, and for the drain pipe here. Okay, and the ladder. Okay, and it looks like all of our rungs went back on top of each other here, so we're just going to need to space them out again, as well as these bottom and top pieces here. Okay, so that goes up there, and these two go down the bottom. Okay, and finally the rungs that are on top of each other. And we'll just stack these similar to the way we originally had them. Okay, we'll just park this next to the drain pipe. grab all these pieces, and we'll just move it over here. And we'll also move these pieces over here. Okay, and we need to scale it down. And we'll just park it over here maybe. Okay, and you can also group UVs together here in the new version of Max, and I'm not going to do that for the tutorial just because I find it's extremely slow. And with the capture running, it's probably going to crash Max here on me, so I'm just going to manually keep this stuff together. Alright, so let's close that. And we'll unhide all. Okay, and let's just apply the checker to that piece. And now all we need to do is just do our final pack. Okay, so let's just reselect the building here. And once again, we'll collapse the editable poly to get rid of that unwrap so we can attach stuff together. Let's go over to the attach box, select all three other objects, and attach them all together as one. And add another unwrap. Open up the editor, and we'll just do our final pack here. Okay, so we are going to need to scale them a little bit more. Let me just go to Polygon here. Let's bring these down, bring these over, and we'll bring these down as well. Okay, I'm not going to use the rescale button to put these all in proportion. And the reason for that is because they'll overlap again if we do that. So I'm just going to manually do it here in the viewport. Just move this over a bit. We'll zoom in a bit on this. And let's turn off our polygon chain with F2 and our edges with F4. Okay, and with the door section selected, we're just going to match the checker size to the wall here. Okay, so we'll go in here, go to scale, and we'll scale it all down. Okay, until we can kind of even those out. And that looks pretty close right there, so we'll leave those. Let's move over to the window here. All right, and we're going to grab all the window objects, which are these ones, I believe. Yep. Okay, and we'll do the same thing here, scale them to match the wall. Okay, so scale those down. And that looks pretty close right there. Okay, and finally, let's do the drain pipe and ladder. Okay, which are all these objects here in the center. So let's grab all of those. And just take them way down in size. Okay, and there's a lot of edges on these pieces, so it might be a little slow. Okay, so just keep cranking that down. Okay, that looks pretty close right there. Alright, so now we should have even checker size on everything here in the viewport. Okay, so let's just check it out one more time. Alright, we look pretty good here, so now we'll just pack it into the 0 to 1 grid and we'll be done, finally. Okay, so let's just maybe move some of these bigger chunks around. I'm just going to grab all the parts of the building, as well as the roof, the stairs, and the ground there. I'm going to move this up. Okay, and let's actually maybe just scale everything down a little bit more, all at once. Okay, we'll scale it down a little smaller than we need, and then we'll scale it up to fill as much space as possible. Okay, so let's reselect these pieces. Let's move them over here, and we'll just kind of lay this in here. Okay, maybe something like that. And let's see, let's grab maybe these door pieces here with the pillars. Okay, I'm just going to move that up. And we'll put it maybe around here somewhere. Okay, and let's grab the ladder. Put that up here next to the building. And finally these door pieces, or window pieces, sorry. Okay, we obviously want to utilize as much space as possible. So let's just scale it up a little bit more so that these original pieces here kind of fill the height of the grid. Okay, let's move everything down a bit. Okay, I'm not going to worry about doing a super tight pack job on this. Normally you'd want to fill as much of the UV space as you can, but I'm just going to get them in here quick. Okay, and we actually have these pieces of the window still overlapping the wall here. Alright, so I'm just going to move that over, select these two and just move them back. Okay, we'll just reselect this piece and just move it over to take up as much space as possible here. Okay, something like that. And we'll just leave these guys kind of sitting in here. Okay, and that's the top and bottom of the window. Okay, we can also move this up a little bit. Let's grab maybe these trim pieces here. Okay, we'll just put that up here next to the building. All right, and we can move these over a little bit. Something like that. And we'll just move maybe these two pieces of the door down underneath. Okay, and we still have the window there. Okay, as well as that grate. Let's grab the grate pieces here, and we'll put this up here somewhere. And we'll grab these window pieces and just move them up, maybe up to the top here. We have a little bit more room. All right, I'm just going to set them in here. Okay, and obviously we have quite a bit of wasted space here, so what you normally want to do is just kind of maneuver these around until you can really utilize most of that space. I'm not going to do that for the tutorial just because it's going to take quite a bit of time. Another thing you can do, and what I usually do last, is once I have the pack done like this, is I'll just select a few of the elements, say for example this door, and then just scale that up a little bit more just to take up some more space. Alright, so your texture is going to be a little bit more high res on that. And you can do this with the various objects until you kind of fill all these gaps with your texture or with your UV islands. Okay, but you get the idea. So I think I'll just leave it like this for the tutorial, and yeah, definitely move these around a little bit more and figure out the best way to pack them in. You can also, you know, stick some stuff in the door opening here to utilize that space, as well as any of the holes that you have on any of the walls. Okay, but overall I think that's okay for the tutorial, and that'll be our final UV pack. Okay, so you can just go into Tools, down to Render UV Template, and if you want to take this into Photoshop to paint texture, you just put in your size here, and just render UV template. You can also turn off the seam edges so you don't see that green, and just hit that. That'll render out the template, and you can just save this out as whatever format you want and take it into Photoshop to paint your texture. Okay, so I think that's the final way we'll leave the UVs here. And we just put this texture back on here so we don't have to look at that checker anymore. And this model's fully wrapped now. Okay, so I know that was a little tedious in a few parts, and hopefully some of you made it to the end. Hopefully you learned something from it, and it'll help you out when you're doing your own models. Okay, so I guess that about does it, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.